Hello, this is Activist Victor, and we're going to give you an update on the severe weather situation. So, as if you are joining us just now, I'm going to go over this for you, and if not, you might be able to skip ahead because a lot of it's pretty much the same. They didn't really change this from the previous severe weather outlooks. So, we have a moderate risk of severe weather here, and all of this is based on chances within like 25 miles of a point. So, obviously, this is not that super high, but still a chance, somewhat higher, kind of high, and then actually getting real, like, sort of high. Although high risk is definitely the worst, so at least it's not that bad. But moderate's not to scoff at. They're actually not that common. They're not like super rare, but they're not that common. So we have tornado probs here. This is the chance that we'll have a tornado within 25 miles of a point within the region. So here's 2%, 5, and up to 15. So that's actually pretty high for tornado probs, although not nearly as high as some of the other elements. But then again, tornadoes are less common. So what the heck just happened? I thought they might have updated it. Okay, anyways, there's also a hatched area, which indicates a 25 or a 10% or greater chance of an EF2 or stronger tornado within 25 miles of a point within the region. So that's definitely something to look out for. I mean, hatched areas are not that common, and when they do occur, you need to really take it seriously because this shit really could hit the fan. Here's wind. There's no hatched area here, so at least that's good, but there's still a 30% chance region, and again, this is within 25 miles of a point, so, and it's the same for like all of these, unless it's hatched, then it's with 10% within 25 miles of a point. So, yeah, 30%, I mean, I've seen higher wind, but I've also seen much lower, so this is definitely still noteworthy. I think it's just not what they're mainly focusing on. So here, hail, there's 45%. That's definitely a bit higher. In fact, that's actually pretty high for hail, at least. And what this is telling me is there's probably going to be some definite supercell risk, because how could you get tornadoes and hail, especially big ones, without supercells? I don't really know. It's not that easy. And this is basically 1 inch or larger hail within 25 miles of a point, and then the hatched area is 10% or greater chance of 2 inch or larger hail within 25 miles of a point. So that'll kind of mess you up if you're inside that. So you best be keeping an eye on this stuff if you're in these areas or nearby them. I believe this system is going to scoot off this way over the next 24 hours, and I'm going to show you this. This is the day 2 outlook, so it hasn't really changed much since the last update, but they typically don't update the day 2 that often. So as you can see, the severe risk is still there tomorrow, but it's not as bad, although still not nothing. Enhanced is done to scoff at, and this is just the cumulative probability that you get some sort of severe weather event. They don't distinguish between the individual elements beyond day 1. I think it might just be too much to focus on. And I don't blame them. You want to get what you're doing right and not overwork yourself. So now we're going to look at current radar. So here's the current radar. We definitely have some sort of stuff firing in Iowa. This one right here has got a severe thunderstorm warning on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these definitely follow suit, because it's definitely possible in this environment. And then there's another one down here. And overall, that's all that's really going on right now. There's some stuff over here that hit earlier in Wisconsin, but that's pretty much moving out of the area and is not really going to be a huge factor anymore. I don't think so, at least. It might do something, but it's not severe warned, so it's not as bad. And then there's just like some generic rain out here. I don't think this is really going to do much, but let's just look at it. I don't think this is going to do too much. I think it, but I'm not sure, so maybe keep an eye on this too, but this probably isn't going to be the main threat. The stuff back there, which I expect to coalesce into some line with maybe some isolated supercells in front of it, and maybe some embedded supercells, is probably going to be the main threat. So now we're going to look at model runs. Let me just refresh this tab, and I'm going to shift it real quick. So here's all the models on College DuPage weather area. I think you look up College DuPage meteorology, you should be able to find this. So we're going to look at the generic models. Remember, there were a few isolated cells. So what I'm going to look at is how well these models are actually forecasting what's really going on. Right. Oh, there you are. Come on. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to look at these more. So 18Z, I think that's a couple hours ago. So this is definitely simulating that convection that's going up into Michigan. I don't really see this though. I mean, I guess there's some stuff here, but it looks like this really isn't being forecasted that well because there's nothing there right now. I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't formed yet. I don't know. This really doesn't have that, well, okay, it is simulating some sort of line, but it doesn't look as well organized as I think some of the other models make it look. So, and it's something's going to hit, it looks like. It's just not going to be as intense as I would have thought, and it looks like it's kind of disorganized, so maybe there's a chance of supercells if this comes to fruition, but honestly, it doesn't look as good as some of the other models, I believe. So now here's the high resolution rapid refresh. I'm going to go back to 19Z because the new model run's not completely done yet. It does have some discrete cells forming in here as well as some in here, but it looks like they're not as far to this or to the east. Okay, yeah, this it looks like it has some sort of stuff forming along the warm front up here, and then that moves north, and this disorganized or this maybe discrete cells move through this or Illinois and Indiana, and then the line forms along the cold front and it sweeps through the entire area. So that would actually make me think maybe there's more of a wind threat, but without looking at soundings, it's really difficult to say for sure. And who knows, as I said before, there could be embedded supercells. Okay, I wish they just had sim reflectivity in its own thing, because that's what we really want to look for. So this is probably, it does have something forming in Iowa, but it doesn't really have anything forming in Missouri. So that makes me think that maybe it's a little bit off there. It might be underestimating down here. And this is kind of a little bit blobby. It does definitely have a line of sorts moving through the entire area, but yeah, I don't know if this is going to forecast it as well as some of the other stuff is. So let's look at the higher resolution NAM. I think this has enough. Yeah, this has enough, even though the model run's not complete. So this has stuff forming in Iowa, but again, it's neglecting, what the heck's with that clearing around those storms? It's neglecting the stuff in Missouri, which is clearly happening. So yeah, I'm a little bit less inclined to say this is definitely going to happen. So, but it definitely has a line moving through, and it has maybe some discrete cells forming in front of it, but not too many. So I don't know. I would honestly say the HER was probably the best one so far. And then we have the GFS. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Yeah, either way. I mean, I can't find this, so I'm just going to move on to the next thing. Oh, wait, I have it right here. So, yeah, I'm not sure if... Let me see if I can get to a newer one. Yeah, this is the current one. So it does have some stuff forming in Iowa and Missouri, which definitely has some sort of resemblance to what's really going on. It looks like it has a cluster of stuff, and the resolution's not as good, so it doesn't really have even a discrete line moving through. It's weird. Like, it has like a cluster of storms, but not really a line. And it has some stuff in Arkansas down there, but yeah, so I'd honestly trust the first model I went through best, to be honest. I'm just going to look at mesoscale discussion really quickly. to see. There's also some watches in effect, and that's why. So we have a severe potential tornado watch likely here, and I think they actually did issue a tornado watch for this area. So there's also a watch likely down here. I think the current one covers this one. So yeah, I think the yellow is severe thunderstorm watch. So that's what's currently under a severe. What is this? Oh, that's a tornado watch. Why is a tornado watch not red? Like, you see it red everywhere else, so that's confusing. So all of that is a tornado watch. Like, literally all of the stuff that you saw before is a tornado watch, which includes my current area. And there's definitely, as I said before, severe thunderstorm warnings. Whew! Definitely an active day. Even a flash flood potential here too. I think that basically covers everything I needed to say. Just go to the next day just to be safe. So if you want to see what I looked at, I'm going to post most of the links in the description, and just stay on top of this situation and get prepared. I mean, you obviously can't stop severe weather from hitting you if it's going to, but you can definitely make sure that you and the ones you care about survive if you are prepared and stay on top of the situation. Preparedness is the best thing you can do, because if you know what's going to happen, you can take necessary action to make sure it doesn't kill you or even seriously hurt you, or the ones you love, or your pets even. I would put my pets in the basement if something's coming my way, to be honest. So either way, this is me signing off, and let's hope this isn't too bad. Except where I live, because to be honest, I would love a nice windstorm right where I live, just not a tornado.